a beautiful night north of the border in Toronto, Canada. Inserted Michaela Timpson into the starting lineup. They are 4-0. Tempo and loves the game as we are underway at Scotiabank Arena.
Kiki Rice with a defensive assignment on Caitlin Clark. And this is a play that Stephanie White scripted this morning to run off the first offensive set, hoping to get a back screen for Caitlin Clark, but get the foul called.
That's an early personal on Kiki Rice, the rookie and champion out of UCLA. Sandy Brondell just raved about. Clark will fire, can't hit. Weak side rebound, gobbled up by Yuskaita. Here's Mabry, draws two, kicks it out. Yuskaita fakes the three. Harrison will reverse it. Now it settles with Sykes. Sykes on the attack, the runner won't go, tipped around. Harrison can't finish, and Boston secures it for Indiana.
You saw right away the defensive attention that Mabry is going to get.
Clark, mid-range, off the mark. Been so good in the mid-range this season, first 2 years combined. Mabry, short as well, and Hull able to fingertip the rebound. Clark quickly ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell, 19 straight games of at least 20. One shy of Asia Wilson's record. Hull tips in. And
getting inside and then doing one more step to get under the defense to the rim.
Mabry can't flag it down to Clark. Played a season-high 41 minutes in the overtime win against Atlanta. Boston, what a look. Mitchell to lay on a beautiful play.
And a play that looked very similar to the first one, but instead of Caitlin Clark getting the handoff, which the defense.
Here's Rice in the corner, can't hit. Rebound tipped around, Rice able to save it. Mabry off the mark. Yuskaita has really been active on the glass, and the foul is called against Indiana.
Yuskaita got the first offensive board with Caitlin Clark trying to box her out, but unable to do so because of the size advantage, and then Yuskaita just...
Toronto has had a player mostly as a 4 this season. She plays as a perimeter player overseas, but the bigs for Toronto so thin, she's had to play in the post here as that last hits Timpson and will stay with Toronto. Tempo having success on the offensive glass through the first few possessions. They've needed to because they're 0 for 7 from the...
And you see Timpson on Rice. So this will be a place where offensively they can take advantage of the glass.
Sykes got fouled and will shoot 2. Foul called against Lexi Hull.
Hands or too much hands from Lexi Hull. It'd be hard to have too many hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone ever had 3?
Not in the W. I can't speak to the Guinness Book of World Records.
True. Sykes hits them both. Sold out crowd here at Scotiabank Arena. The first sellout here. Third time that Toronto is playing in this building. They have really drawn a lot of interest here in this city and this country. Look at Timpson, what a rebound and a putback.
You saw her just with her length, able to reach over Rice.
Knocked away by Boston, who was so active defensively against Atlanta on Sunday. Clark launches, can't hit. 0 for 3 from the start for Clark as Hull drops it out of bounds. Toronto basketball.
Michaela Timpson.
Talking to us before the game, was just raving about Timpson as a teammate and also her growth, her improvement. Caitlin was telling us she feels like she has a chance to be one of the best cutters in this league.
Cutters and finishers, yeah, the way she's learned how to move off the ball.
Steph White said her comp for Timpson right now is Aaron Gordon, NBA style with those cuts, and Timpson was telling us she hopes to get to Candace Parker level with her game as Mitchell lays it in off the delivery from Clark.
Clark just is able to lead Mitchell so beautifully on those back cuts.
Yuskaita sheds Clark, can't lay it in, and it's out of bounds off of Toronto.
Yuskaita shedded Clark by having her arm right in Caitlin Clark's neck.
Clark was looking for the offensive foul, did not get it. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell will pop. Doesn't get the roll. Morrow battling on the glass, and a foul is called against Anissa Morrow. And she battled for that rebound. Here's the handoff to Clark, turning the corner. Oh, what a move from Clark. Fading, taking, and dropping it in. Beautiful handle from Caitlin Clark.
I think that's the first time we've seen her with that like low baby dribble.
One of the things she's really worked on this season, that handle and her game inside the arc. Harrison meets Timpson, can't finish. Clark the rebound, looking ahead, fires to Hull. She'll take, and hit a long two from Lexi Hull, and that's where Indiana's so dangerous when they get out and run. And a timeout taken from Toronto. The Fever with an 8-point lead through the first 4 minutes of this one. Well, crowds throughout the season for Toronto at their own arena, CCC, now here at Scotiabank. And the buzz in this building, you could feel it from before the tip. But you could also feel walking around the city today for this game. How many people were wearing their gear and excited for the action tonight?
How many people recognized and took pictures with Holly Rowe?
Oh my goodness, she has a huge Canadian fan base. Izzy Harrison can't finish, and a shot clock violation. By the way, it's not quite Atlanta levels, but it's hot in here. And Caitlin Clark was just motioning that to us as well. Atlanta on Sunday was the warmest arena I think I've ever been in, but it's warm in here too.
Yeah, it's like LSU during the college season sometimes.
Oh yeah.
We're there.
Boston finds Clark. Clark with some space will drive it, gets fouled, and Clark is going to shoot two. Something we've seen all season. Clark averaging 6.5 free throw attempts per game. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA Network, Minnesota Golden State, another great game. Thursday, prime doubleheader, Indy and Dallas. The WNBA app. This games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Timpson flags down the rebound. Clark, and clock needed to reset. Clark hits the three after the whistle. Indiana on a 7-0 run. Clark 3 points, 2 assists. Mitchell already with 4 points. Here's Mitchell with the space and the hit from three. Kelsey Mitchell already with the longest single season streak of most consecutive games with at least 20 points, with 19 of them trying to match the connective streak as Mabry able to hit from deep. Cross court to Hull. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell into the paint. The reverse is good. 9 already for Kelsey Mitchell.
I love when Kelsey Mitchell starts her move just going around the world with the one leg. You know, doesn't dribble, just like around the one leg. She's assessing the defender and then gets a chance to go by.
Foul on Clark, trying to hang there with Yuskaita. The record for connected between two seasons, just to finish that thought, Asia Wilson with 20 games, you see it there. That was over a 2-season span. Sophie Cunningham checking in along with Monique Billings as Mabry misses that one. Morrow, the offensive rebound and the reverse. An elite rebounder, why Toronto acquired her at the deadline. We saw it in college versus DePaul and LSU. Too tall for Timpson. Mabry off the steal, bounces underneath. Sykes will lay it in as Clark had to be careful already with one foul. Clark backing away, Billings with a lot of space. Over to Timpson. Timpson's push shot is good. Timpson with 4 has hit her first 2 field goal attempts. Indiana +8 in the paint. Going baseline, the former member of the Fever, Temi Fagbenle, able to lay it in. Here's Clark turning the corner, gets denied. The follow is good from Billings. Quickly down the other end, Fagbenle lays it home, beating Indiana down the floor.
And Temi Fagbenle is at her best. She's a very good rim runner. We saw an example of it there.
Second game of a 5-game road trip for Indiana. Mitchell jitters, hops, can't finish, but a foul. And Kelsey Mitchell will go to the line to shoot 2. And we mentioned this stat for Mitchell last game, and it's just been ridiculous documenting the history that Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark have been making on a nightly basis. But Mitchell already, she's done over the last 19 games, just incredible efficiency and production as we check in with Holly for a little more on Kelsey.
Well, she's producing on the court, but more importantly, producing off the court, studying for her PA. Weeks ago that she had several papers due, so she's on this long road trip. She's doing papers for a PhD, and she's playing at this high level. It's absolutely insane what Kelsey Mitchell has on her plate and how she is thriving at all those assignments.
The ultimate multitasker turned it over there. Sights can't hit, and it will tilt out of bounds to Toronto. Ty Harris already in for Caitlin Clark. That's a little earlier than normal, and you wonder if Stephanie White will be a little more cautious with minutes in spots here tonight, with Indiana coming off an overtime game and a condensed schedule here on this 5-game road trip.
And also with a little bit of a cushion in terms of the score.
Yeah. Harris can't hit the 3. Went 5 for 5 2 games ago against Dallas. Ty Harris has given Indiana good minutes all season. Hines Allen able to knock it away. Here's Billings in transition. Billings Euros in, can't finish, lost it. Bag Bentley able to dig it up. Now Toronto looking to push. Morrow barges in and finishes. Busts the foul. A chance for 3 for Anissa Morrow.
Anissa Morrow at 6'1". We've already...
Morrow completes the 3-point play. This crowd is loud.
Yeah.
A very engaged tempo crowd here at Scotiabank Arena. And one of the things Sandy Brondello was praising to us before the game was the ownership for this franchise has just loved it. As Mitchell rings in another. How about Kelsey Mitchell? 14 already in the first. Rice works away from the trap. Will take. Can't hit the mid-range. Morrow got a hand on it, nothing more, out of bounds to Indiana.
The blitz came to Kiki Rice, and then she was there.
Here's Cunningham. Hearing the boos as she touches it, gets fouled by Nurse, and Indiana in the bonus, so free throws here for Sophie Cunningham. Indiana, the 9-point lead. Every game so critical right now in this playoff race when you just look at things are and it comes to seeding. The race to the playoffs is on. Stream live games from across the league. Scan the QR code and subscribe today for just $14.99 a month. Cunningham misses the second. 120. A reminder, first of 2 games on ESPN tonight. Atlanta, Vegas up next. That's another game, big-time playoff implications. Billings mistimed the jump. Indiana still comes down with it. Cunningham, a deep 3. You bet! Sophie Cunningham, efficient shooters from 3 this season, 45%. And the lead is 13 for Indiana. Billings off the steal. Harris pushing pace. Hines Allen motors in, gets called for the offensive foul.
What we're seeing on full display, one of the things that makes Indiana first here tonight, but when she is open like that, has been so efficient.
2 weeks ago when we called the Indiana-Minnesota game, that was something Cheryl Reeve highlighted to us. She said Indiana's bench, for as great as their starters are, they have a few players they get really good production from off the bench, and that's enough. As that last hits Indiana, will stay with Toronto. Now that time, Timpson had been coming off the bench, and then it was Ty Harris and Cunningham who Cheryl was referring to. Now you have Timpson in the starting lineup, but still Billings has done a nice job off the bench since she's moved there. Nurse knocks in the 3. Canada's own Kia Nurse. just a slight difference game in shot clock. Mitchell, oh, what a move, Mitchell! My goodness, what a flip! After another beautiful ballet from Kelsey Mitchell. Rice flips it in off the window at the horn. Kelsey with Caitlin Clark and examining a part of the hardwood. Let's check in right now with Lexi Hull, kind enough to join us from the Indiana bench. Hi, Lexi. Good. Now, this such a describe the synergy of you five over these last few games.
I mean, I think it starts with us five, but I think our entire team has just been playing so well together, playing our role, doing whatever we can each game for the team to win, and I think that's what's going to help us down the stretch, is that everyone's just doing all those little things.
You're one of the best defensive players on this team, but it feels like as a unit, you guys are playing better on.
This is knowing, you know, the rotations, when we need to help, when we need to be on the backside, when we can be more aggressive, and that just comes with chemistry on that side, and I just think we've been able to play more together, and that's just been able to grow.
All right, Lexi, one last one. How'd you like the tomato potato chips up here, the ketchup potato chips in Canada?
I was the only one that liked them. I think that's like a 50-50 thing, but I actually enjoyed them, so I'm here for it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lexi. We appreciate it. Lexi, all nice Indiana bench here live in the second quarter. Oh, wow.
No.
Or not enough mustard on it.
Yeah, we tried the ketchup-flavored Lay's today. We did.
Yeah, I don't know that I was in Lexi's camp. Wasn't for me.
I didn't mind them. I thought they were tasty enough. They were tasty enough.
I also have acid reflux. You know, it could have been that. Clark, pocket pass. Boston barrels in. Knocked out of bounds. Stays with Indiana. 8 to shoot.
You come with so many instructions.
I really do. God bless my wife. Clark tried to force it into Cunningham, knocked away. Indiana usually gets a bucket a game on those inbounds as Mabry lays it in transition. Here comes Clark. Off to Boston. Boston now draws a crowd. 3 defenders go to her. Cunningham tiptoeing, gives it back to Boston. Can't hit the mid-range. Uskaida comes away with a rebound. Uskaida muscling through Hines Allen, draws the foul, and will shoot 2. Hines Allen
lost the shoe.
I hope she can get it back on and tie it quicker than Kelsey Mitchell the other day.
Hines Allen is a strong post.
We found them though, so that's good.
Does anybody wear like just straight on high tops anymore, tied tightly?
It's a good question.
I don't think so. It's all like the lower or mid level.
Right.
But yeah, even like the mid height, if you tie them tightly, it should stay on. Maybe they're not as comfortable.
Like your shoe was in a battle with your shin for supremacy over your leg. Yeah.
It was like a moon boot.
Yeah.
For people who remember those.
Here's Clark. Step back 3 is good. The first Canadian. Here's Rice. Now we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Appreciate all your patience with us as Rice spins inside for the finish.
Caitlin Clark just had a nice possession of help side defense there initially.
Here's Clark all the way in through the lane, got tripped. And side out of bounds here as they will call the foul pre-gather. Yeah, don't scare us, Kelsey. Here's Clark working behind Boston. Gets it to her. Boston looking for the angle, can't toss it in. Izzy Harrison, who just picked up her second, claims the rebound. Mabry leading the way for Toronto with 7. Here's Mabry, physical finish, gets fouled and will shoot a pair as Boston picks up the personal. That'll be her second. Here's talking with Sandy Brondello, who, you know, is just one of the most delightful human beings on the planet.
Yep.
About Marina Mabry, and she was long leash she's tried to give her on the offensive end. Still trying to bring Marina along defensively, but handed this season as we check in with Holly.
Well, we talked to Marina today about how she's blossomed here in Toronto as the main option on this team. And she said, you know, everywhere else I've played, I've had to defer to other people. They were the top option. Well, here I've stopped deferring. I'm just myself. She said that has really shown up. I'm taking on a bigger leadership role, both vocally and with her play. She's also taking more shots. She said, I have the green light. I have a coach, Sandy Brondello, who's empowering me and believing in me, and that's showing up in her stats here in Toronto.
Thank you, Hal. A lot of offensive boards here for Toronto, 2 on this possession.
Well, it's tough because long boards because of the long threes.
They have 7 offensive rebounds in the half. Kiki Rice gets swallowed up by Boston. What a rejection from Aaliyah Boston. Clark with some haste. Oh, what a look! And Boston lays it in. The video game vision of Caitlin Clark. Knocked out of bounds, last hit Mabry, and it will be Indiana. Finds the cutter, and a foul as Mitchell dashed inside. Just the chemistry between Clark, Mitchell, and Boston. It's almost like
the All-Star break that it's not just on the court, it's chemistry that they've built off the court as well, and certainly we've seen that, especially in this stretch of the last 11 or so games, how well they have been playing with and off of one another.
Boston able to finish on the interior. Aaliyah Boston with 6. Indiana lead is 10. Good contest from Boston. Clark able to snare the rebound. Here's Clark trying to get it up the floor. Sings it underneath, and Nurse called for the foul. Well, that is our timeout here in Toronto. One of the people who dreamed ESPN into locks and steals last game already. Boston fakes the 3, takes the 2, knocks it in.
Just completely gets the defender off her feet, makes...
Aaliyah Boston has the last 6 Indiana points. Toronto has missed its last 5 shots. Mitchell knocks it away. Kelsey Mitchell ahead of the field will lay it in. 18 already for Kelsey Mitchell. Mabry, great look inside. Benley twists around into the corner. That 3 won't go for Bancole. Bancole, developmental player who they need to play minutes here today because they're so thin. No Niara Sabali, no Julie Alamon. Oh, Clark got bumped, still flips it in, puts the foul. Big time bucket from Caitlin Clark and a chance for 3.
The rim than we have seen to this point in her pro career.
Her last 11 games, Caitlin Clark is averaging 26 points, 9.5 assists on 50% from the floor and 41% from 3. Just a ridiculous stretch. Here's Sykes gliding through and cupping it in. Beautiful take from Brittany Sykes. Here's Clark. Clark gonna drive it again, got bumped. Didn't get the call, was looking for it. Benley storms in, and that's gonna be a block on Hull. Did not own the real estate in time. In fact, Benley will go to the line to shoot 2.
They're spectacular, great city, so much to do, great arts community as well. We went to see a Banksy exhibit a couple years ago when we were here. Yeah, it was great.
Very nice. Sandy Brondello was talking about just how friendly everybody is here, how diverse it is. Great walking city. Said it reminds her of home. Reminds her of Australia.
Good subway system, too, for those who like public transportation.
There you go. Clark looking inside, finds Billings, who's immediately fouled. Indiana in the bonus. By the way, we appreciate your patience with us tonight. I know, just like a moment ago. Billings, a 12-2 Indiana run and a 16-point Fever lead. Timpson able to just poke it away. Here's Rice. Oh, what a hedge by Timpson. In the corner, Morrow. Too much on it. Clark, the get-ahead. Billings in traffic, couldn't finish it. Good contest from Benley after a beautiful pass from Clark. Sykes rims in the jumper. 8 points for Brittany Sykes in her return, averaging more than 20 points per game this season before she went out in the meeting against the Fever. Here's Hull. Probing, reversing, can't finish it. Benley secures it under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Mitchell leads the way, the only score in double figures. She has 18 on 7 of 10. Sykes couldn't quite finish it, and out of bounds off of Timpson.
It's good to see, though, that Sykes still has her explosiveness, and she didn't finish there, but you saw her using it as she drove to the rim.
Timeout on the floor. We'll step
for Toronto.
Here's Raven Johnson getting some minutes here for Indiana. Timpson has it knocked away. Took a while for Indiana to get into that play. Here's Rice into the corner, gets it back. Kiki Rice so good for UCLA in their run to the national championship. Sandy Brondell raved about Kiki before the game, said, I'd love to have 12 of her. It's back. Benley rings in a 3, and the lead is 9. This has been a point of emphasis for Stephanie White. Indiana sometimes getting complacent with big leads, games tightening up. Clark connects on a 3 for 12th straight game with at least 2 made threes. 12 points, 3 assists for Clark. Sykes tosses it over. Benley again. Temi Benley 2 for 2 from deep.
She came into this game having 3 made threes on the season.
Clark finds the cutter. Hines Allen lays it in. Yeah, I mean, the confidence with which she's there. Sykes with a pull up. And hit again. Brittany Sykes starting to feel it. She has 12. Has already played 12 minutes. Supposed to be around 15 tonight. Clark goes back door, leaves it. Timpson lays it. Beautiful play. Hines Allen to Clark to Timpson. Clark's 5th assist. Timpson up to 6 points. Morrow again. Toronto with their posts off the bench burying these threes.
Now they just need to get some stops on this end.
Clark gives it up, gets it back. Hines Allen into the corner. Johnson can't hit that one. Toronto's bench, a 21-9 advantage. About a 1-second difference game in shot clock. Sykes asking for a cut, not getting it, launches. And that'll do it for the first half. Indiana an 8-point lead at halftime. Caitlin Clark, 12 points, 5 assists. Kelsey Mitchell with 18. Time for tonight's Access, brought to you by Google Pixel. We'll send things over to Holly Rowe.